to you, David, what is more difficult? Hitting 62 home runs or going 50-50?
Ooh. In today's day and age, oh man, 60 home runs. I think 60 home runs. I think staying at that pace all year is different than in this day and age with the rule changes. I think every time you're on base, now everybody's stealing. Everybody's just thinking steal and force the pitcher to pick off twice and get him into a bind and just go. So I do think 60 home runs is more difficult in this day and age, in this game. Being able to see the bullpens, being able to stay consistent, stay healthy, I think that is tougher than 50-50. What do you think? Even though it's never been done. That's the crazy thing. Even though it's never been done, I think you're going to see. I mean, Acuna was 40 and 70 last year. So you're going to see. I think you're going to see these numbers out of these kids, especially younger guys with power. You're going to see these numbers fly off the roof from a power standpoint, and steals are going to be higher from those guys just by naturally the rules.
Yeah, the way they change the rules makes it easier to steal. There's no question about that. In my opinion, when I look at the idea of 62 home runs or 50-50, I think it's harder to go 50-50 because you have to stay healthy. Yeah, you can still hit home runs if you don't have your legs underneath you, but you have to be able to run every day if you're going after that 50-50.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're both so difficult. Mm-hmm. I still just think just being able to, on that pace, the 60 home run pace is just so crazy. I mean, even Judge is nuts right now. Judge has 51 home runs at the time of the recording of the show. He's going to have a couple more by the time you actually see it, because that's just what Judge is doing. But his pace is still only 63. And it's crazy because he's on this pace of just insanity. And it's still only 63 pace. And then I sit back and think, well, Bonds did 70. And he walked more times than he had plate appearances. He was on base more times than he had official plate appearances. I think that was that year. Maybe that was 04. But it doesn't matter. That pace is so crazy. I mean, think about this. If Barry Bonds was this, I don't know if he could do it when he was hitting 70, but Bonds would be 70-50. At that time. And Bonds took away his stolen base game to just focus on the power. But I think he could have, in today's day and age, I think he could have been a 70-30 guy, 70-40, if he really wanted to go for it.
I think maybe the only reason why I'm poo-pooing, Judge's accomplishment is just because, yeah, he's going after 62, but the record is Bonds's, and he's not getting anywhere close to that. So for me, when I see a guy who's doing something that has never been done, potentially in a 50-50, it's more monumental because it's something that hasn't been done, as opposed to, Judge hitting 62. Well, he's still, 10 off.
If Judge hit 62, James, is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
And then he got his 10 years. He's not a Hall of Famer. He did 60 twice.
I'm still not putting him in the Hall of Fame because, like we talked about in the last video, Ryan Howard had a very similar trajectory and then he fell off. So I've got to see the totality of his career.
The totality. What a stud.